staring at?
It's Berzerk, released in 1982 for the Atari 2600 video computer system and based on the 1980 arcade classic from Stern Electronics, also seeing release on other platforms including the Atari 5200 as well as the almighty Vectrex arcade system. In Berzerk, you control a little guy and really your only goal is to escape the room full of robots before they kill you. Also, don't touch the walls. You could choose to fight the robots with your blaster, and clearing the room of robots will grant you some bonus points, but dawdle too long an evil auto will appear to pursue you and push you towards escaping the current room. Depending on the game mode, of which there are 12, Evil Otto will either be invincible, or you could shoot him to make him go away for a short while before he respawns again, although some game modes eliminates Evil Otto from the picture altogether, so you could take your sweet ass time clearing away all those robots, and also try not to touch the walls because they will kill you. For most folks who have never touched the arcade original, the 2600 version of Berzerk is often their first or only real exposure to the game, seeing as it's quite a common 2600 title and usually easy to come across. And this is a fairly basic version of Berzerk. It doesn't have the voice synthesis feature that the arcade original had. They'd rectify that in a 2020 re-release, more on that later. But in terms of gameplay, Berzerk is simple, straightforward arcade fun. You control the little guy with the stick, you shoot in 8 possible directions, get a feel for how you move around and how the robots will behave because they do get more aggressive the deeper you get into the game, even though the screens themselves are often a randomized affair. And really it doesn't take much to figure out how the game works, it's only a matter of navigating the endless chamber of Berzerk's labyrinth and trying to last as long as possible before you're eventually done away with, because sooner or later it will happen, it is inevitable. And there's no Iron Man to save you. That's a thing people say, right? No? Oh, who cares? Anyways. Berzerk might feel a bit sluggish at first, but after a while you get used to it, and there's potential fun to be had with the onslaught of robots and pursuing smiley faces. A single-player game, Berzerk includes 12 game variations, which mostly toggle the appearance of Evil Otto, whether robots shoot back or not, and how many points you need to score in order to earn extra lives, if at all. Game number 9 is considered to be the ultimate Berzerk challenge according to the manual for those who want some of that business in your Berzerking endeavors. Berzerk is a fairly basic looking game, but you can make out the bits and bobs of its primitive looking game world. Robots look like robots, different colors determine their overall strength or aggressiveness or whatever. The humanoid looks decidedly humanoid, and while Evil Otto is not quite as imposing as the name suggests, neither are the walls and they also kill you when you touch them. It's a simple layout, nice and clean looking, perfectly fine looking Atari game, and the sound effects are fairly stock sounding stuff, nothing too special in that regard. Overall, Berzerk on the Atari 2600 is a tremendous home arcade conversion for its day and a game that honestly still stands the test of time. Its simple premise yet challenging gameplay, especially on Game 9, makes Berzerk one of those classic titles that's worth revisiting every so often. Might be a bit stiff for some folks, but if you could get past that, there's a good time to be had here with Berzerk on the old VCS.